So, July 8th, 2024. Man, I need a video editor. Not the software, a worker. I have the software. Yeah, I noticed the recording that was supposed to be the intro for potential partners failed to upload. So I guess maybe with this recording, I can go over it again. The redundancy is good, can be good. Um, and we won't get into the insider ongoing joke regarding that. So before I open the email again and go back through it again, and maybe I can curate or edit it this time, I was going to talk about the incredible business model that this offers us. That it's new, 21st century. Never could such a business model have been done in the past. But now it can be, and we can claim our turf, so to speak, in the market. And what that is smart contracts have this wonderful ability that when the asset is exchanged, when it's bought or sold, we can have it send like 1% of the transaction to us. Now, at $3 an asset, that's not much, 30 cents or whatever, right? But what if they go to like $45,000? What's 1% of 45,000? I'll leave that for you to figure out. But that's what I'm talking about. Is these things grow in value? It's a compounding model. Everything we've done in the past continues to bring us income, aside from the initial income, which is which is the primary target for the project. If it can achieve that amount of sales, the project is a success. But it could be so much more than we might even imagine. Um, the other way we get money inflow is if we're doing a utility token. When the token gets used, again, we can scrape off tokens for like 1% of whatever's going on there, whatever the utility is. That is to say, well, one of the areas I want to provide can be called knowledge oracles. They are being called knowledge oracles. Anyhow, we'll develop our own knowledge oracle. And so other developers can use that. And when they do, we get paid, you know. And once we set it up, when we get it going, you keep getting paid every time somebody wants to query the knowledge server. Yeah, I'm working on a knowledge server too. Knowledge is power, knowledge is valuable. Currently, a knowledge server does not exist. The best we have is a fancy information server. So, yeah, we're about AI and all that wonderful buzzword stuff, cybersecurity, yada da yada da. But those rabbit holes go a little too deep to cover here. Suffice to say, what I'm talking about is as we mint these NFTs, the income will continue to trickle in to the point that with volume, it could be a virtual waterfall. Um, this is where I say, okay, there's the initial 30,000, 300,000, million, whatever, but we very likely will see like 3 million a month coming in. And so we want to take whatever excess, what we deem excess funds, put them back into the business model, back into the paradigm, back into the system. So you get an exponential J curve sort of thing. Here we are, 30,000. Well, actually, I have about 30,000 in assets I'm willing to stake initially with. I hope not to lose that. If I lose it, I'm screwed. But I do own about 30,000 in assets, and we could use that to leverage ourselves to cash flow. We don't we don't want private investors. We don't want passive investors. We don't want control of our company to leave our hands. There, I said it. Okay. We're a private company. We're for-profit company. So this is key to my excitement. I mean, we can do this, I doubt it's being done now, but it's starting to be done. Again, that's one of the big things about NFTs. So somebody like Taylor Swift can release her own NFTs, and when people buy the Swifty the Swift token or whatever, the Swifty NFT, um, Taylor gets a cut every time, it gets bought and sold. If I don't know, see, this is where I'm saying there's not only is there potential for our own products, but there's also potential once we get authority. Just about any company, any celebrity, any content producer should be, if they have any sense in their head, interested in partnering with us. That is, let us do the minting part of the project. Incredible amounts of opportunity. We just need the workers. Yes, passionate workers, dedicated workers, LTR workers. If we can get them. Okay, I'll tell the story again to illustrate how, like, at the startup I came up to Anacortes to work for, had at its peak about 140 employees. I think I was like number 128 or something. And as an entrepreneur, as a startup business owner, I would I think the business plan was more appropriate to have 40. And if I was the consultant doing the work, which is how the business started up, the CEO was a computer consultant that had a client that I won't get into all the story. But but the bottom line was is they said, well, we'll give you 25 million, you start up the company. Then instead of a cost center, it'll be a profit center, was the idea. And I would have recruited, I would have headhunted, like, if I didn't know them personally. Ideally, I'd already know them, but I would get a team of like 6 crack developers to dedicate themselves, eat, live, and breathe for like 6 months the project, and crank it out. So enough said about that. We want to have teams. We want to have team builders. We want to have team members, team workers that projects can blow apart because they're done and come back together for pending projects. There's always pending projects. Okay. Which is another part of my, let's see, there's my asset management system. I guess the knowledge system, the billionaire mind. One of the things the billionaire mind will do, be tasked with, is um, use case management. We always welcome use case input. And I guess I could put a plug in for my professionally for a couple of years having the job title solutions engineer, primarily referring to the Microsoft Solutions program. But just in general, that's my systems development thing. You start with a use case that you think, well, if we only had this, well, if it could only do this, or yeah, if we had these capabilities available, well, that becomes a use case, and then a project, a system, comes out of that from saying, okay, well, that's fine. Then it's engineering stuff, right? How do we do that? How do we go about doing that? And the rest of that comes under systems development. Research. Want to do lots of research. And in doing the research for our purposes, we should be able to generate reports that we can sell, knowledge based reports, for $7, $25, $35, maybe $50, $120, $250, $500. I want to say 999, but $2,000. I mean, if there you start, price becomes no object. $5,000, stuff like this. I used to have a heart wall practitioner work with me some. I would like to again. She's one of those people I'd like to recruit. I think she's a graphics designer, but she was working for a company in Seattle, living in Mount Vernon, but working for a company in Seattle. And they were working for clients, if not the only client, but for clients like Microsoft to do extremely high end web, wowie zowie bells and whistles websites. Right. And I don't know. I think they're getting like 20,000, 30,000. Gives you an idea though. Yeah, we're the owners and the workers. And we need to treat ourselves really